It is just clogging every time I do anything with it. I don't know, I'm frustrated with it. I'm quite frustrated with it. Morning guys, it's Nathan here at Bluestone Farms. Kind of got a little busy day planned ahead of us. We're gonna jump into cutting some hay today. We're gonna do the front half of our lower field. We're gonna see if we can't do part of this back here. The part of the field back behind me, kind of a spot where I can't really get these guys into to mow it down. We have a good break in the weather. It's supposed to be pretty sunny for pretty much this whole week. Today's Monday. It's not supposed to rain until Sunday again. At least that's what they're calling for right now. I still have my neighbor's property to do. I'm not gonna have time to cut this all today and then cut his property today. I can only probably cut until about 4 o'clock today. I gotta take my son to practice later on today. I might just wait to the next weather break to get over there and cut his property. Let's run up here. We'll check on the calf. We'll check on the other pregnant heifer we have. She's probably about a week out from having this calf. She's given me a couple signs that make me think that this calf might be coming early. I know the other pregnant heifer we had, it took her she was 5 days overdue. It took her a little while to drop that calf, but let's go up there, check on the 3, and the other 3, we'll check on the little calf, see how he's doing. He's doing great. I know I haven't brought the camera out since the day he was born, but we're gonna go up there and check on him. Okay, let's go check on these guys. I made it up here. One thing I did put in here, and I noticed that the 2 heifers that I had in here, they were really like licking this dirt. I mean, they were like, when it was raining and they were in here, they had their like whole snout down in the dirt. So that kind of told me that they probably needed some loose mineral, some type of mineral. So I went out to the store and I got some basic like trace salt, and then I also got, I'll show you the bag, but it's the Wind and Rain. It's got a bunch of different minerals in it, a bunch of stuff to help them out. I already had this mineral feeder, filled this up a little bit. So yes, they got some mineral in there. They got salt there, so they're good for a time being on mineral. I don't have to add any more to that right now. But since I put that in there, I haven't seen them back in that dirt spot licking the dirt. Oh, get that stretching. These guys look pretty good. I'm not gonna bother them too much. She should be having a calf here pretty soon. I don't really want to get too close to her, but I think her calf is definitely coming sooner rather than later. Her projected due date was like June 8th or June 9th, which is still just over a week out. It's June 1st today. I think that this calf might be coming before then. Little calf is good. He's up and moving. I think he's 4 or 5 days old. He's been kind of an adventure. I've had to change out the electric fence already. I had that cattle wire, or the cattle fence, which is the 4 strands, but the bottom strand sits probably about 1 to 1.5 feet above the ground, like calves do. He kept wandering under that bottom strand. He would just run around everywhere. Yeah, there was one morning that we had a hard time finding them, and he was like all the way over there in the tree, on the tree line over there. So I changed out the whole fence. I gave him this style of the electric fence, so he can't get through this no more. This one here goes all the way down to the ground. It's got a bunch of different strands on it. Since I put this fence up, he hasn't gotten out. I put this up 2 or 3 days ago, and like I said, he hasn't gotten out since then, so we're probably good there. Let's go pull this Haybine out of the shop. So we gotta get this cutter out. I gotta put a little bit of air in that one back tire. It's leaking oil a little bit. Put quite a bit of oil in this last time because I knew it had a slow leak on it, but it's leaking oil down there. And actually, I don't know where that oil is coming from. Interesting. I don't know where that oil is coming from, so I have to go look at that over there as well, because that's not coming out of the spot that I thought it was. I just finished hooking the cutter up to the tractor. I didn't really get any footage of it. It's kind of a straightforward process, just hooking the PTO shaft up, hooking up to the drawbar and a couple hydraulic hoses. Not a lot to it, but I got to air up one of the tires a little bit. I noticed that there was some oil on the floor in the other shop over there where this was sitting at. I have looked this thing over, not extensively quite yet, but I've looked it over and I don't see any wet spots on this. So I don't know where that oil could have been coming from. It very well could have been like an older oil spot. So we'll keep an eye on it, but it wasn't a lot of oil, just a little bit. So whatever it is, it's a slow leak. But we'll go through and check all the oil levels. I'm gonna grease the thing up. So it'll take me a minute to do that. There's quite a few grease fittings on the thing. Yeah, I don't see where nothing looks like it's leaking. I think I got that one. Hang on. Well, pretty much just got the thing all greased up. Well, we are headed down to the small section of this backfield that I want to get cut real quick. So this part where I'm currently driving on, I would cut it, but this spot stays really, really wet. And we had a lot of rain about 2 weeks ago. So because of that, I'm not gonna cut this spot. I'm gonna let this spot be. We're going on the other side of that big oak tree that's dying right there in front of me. We're gonna cut a little spot out of that, and then we're gonna make our way up to the main part of the front field, which is way over that way. We're gonna go and get at this. I gotta be done by 4 o'clock. It's probably about 11:15 or so right now. You gotta watch out for some sticks down here in this spot, this oak tree right here, and the eagles come back and build a nest there all the time. And they carry all kinds of sticks, and they carry branches and everything, and they make a mess in the field. Every time it's start of hay season, I gotta go out here and pick up all the sticks and stuff that they dropped. Like I just said, we're just gonna cut a little spot out of here. We're gonna probably go up to where the corner of that fence is and just come in and come down here. It's probably only gonna be about 10 or 15 bales in this spot. And then once we can finish up this spot, we'll move up to the front part of that field and we'll cut the rest of that. And I'm not gonna get up in the trees over that way. I'm gonna leave all that tall. I'm gonna start moving the cows in through the trees, and they're gonna mow that themselves. Little change of plan here. This cutter is really clogging up back there. I've had problems the past 2 years of this thing clogging up on me and plugging up on me. We're gonna go ahead and cut the front part of this field first. The front part of this field is not nearly as thick as what's there in the back. We'll go from there and then see if the sun can kind of dry out back there a little bit. I'm assuming it's clogging and plugging up because it's probably a little wet back there and it stays kind of wet. And this front part of the field where we're kind of driving through now, it doesn't get nearly as wet at all. So we're gonna go ahead and just see if we can't cut up this front part of the field, and then we'll jump into the back after. So. After getting this thing clogged up like 5 or 6 times, and not knowing what the problem was, I went out and looked at the shoes on this thing. They were already pretty much in the most down position there is. So I knew that wasn't the problem, so I left that alone. Kind of really cleaned out all the grass that was in it. Thought maybe the hold downs are too tight. I got to moving the blades and they're not rubbing, and they seem to be moving in pretty good, so I don't think that was a problem. Came back out and tried it. I threw the tractor down a gear, and it seems that I'm having no issues now. I've kind of done 2 laps around this field now, and I haven't clogged it yet. I always forget you gotta go pretty slow with these old Haybines. But we're kind of chugging along. We're going pretty slow right now. Almost finished this field. I've got like 5 or 6 passes left in it out there in the middle. I gotta get going to take little Nathan to his practice this evening. So I should be back here probably about 6:45 or so. It's almost 4 now. So when I get back, we'll finish up the middle of the field. We'll go down there and hit that one spot that I want to take care of in the back part of the field. And then we'll let this hay sit for probably 2 or 3 days. Today's Monday. It'll probably come out Thursday, maybe Friday. Go ahead and bale everything up. So we'll see how we're looking on time. We'll see how the weather's looking. It's not supposed to rain, but it seems like every time I get hay in the ground, it ends up raining somewhere along the way. So we'll watch the weather. We'll keep an eye on the time and see how we're going about all this. But I just got home. I think it's probably about 6:45. I don't really know the exact time right now, but see if we can get the rest of this stuff cut I don't feel like taking this into 2 days. I'd rather just do this all in one day. So we got a little bit out here in the main field, got a little bit out here in the middle. We got to do a little bit way out there in the back, kind of by where the cows are, and do a little bit back there. So we don't have a whole lot more to cut. It's the only thing that slows me down is that this Haybine with the sickle bar, you can't drive really more than 5 or 6 miles per hour with the thing. I mean, you're kind of creeping with the thing, and if you go any faster than that, you'll tend to clog this cutter. But we're finally just finished up the main field. It looks pretty good. Everything's cut down. So let's go finish up cutting down there at the bottom field, or on the back half of our bottom field. We clogged this thing up again. This is kind of a spot where I rotate the cows, and I'm only cutting the middle of this field out here. I'm only cutting pretty much from there to here. It's only like 2 or 3 passes. It's really not a big spot in here, but I'm only cutting the middle of it because I can't get the cows out in the middle out there as of right now, because I don't have anywhere to have any shade for them. I don't know if it's too tall. I don't know if it's too thick. I don't know if it's too wet. I don't know, but every time I try to bale that, this thing clogs on me. I gotta reach up in here and I gotta basically just pull all this grass out of here. I mean, it's thick stuff. I mean, it's but I think it's because the moisture content is too high in this grass. So I'm also starting to realize that most of these clogs that we get on this happen up here by the head of the bar, and I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if there's just too much tension on the blades there. I'm not really quite sure what exactly causes the clogging to happen up in here. It seems that I've gotten the clog undone. Let's go back through and try this one more time and we'll see what happens. Well, we just got clogged for like the 3rd time here now. We seem to be clogging in the same spot, which I find kind of odd. So it's clogging right here. The last time I unclogged it, I was able to do a whole pass and go down and back up before it got clogged again. Since I have good luck going that way, I might just kind of, since it's not much, might just take the cutter down there and just cut one time, come back, drop it again. You can see it's got a bunch of grass, and the grass here is thick, right? See, like you can see it's kind of like a little hard to pull all this stuff out. You can tell it's got a lot of tension on that grass. But if you go up here, that grass comes right out. So I'm not sure what's causing this, or I don't know if these hold down clamps are too tight up here. They don't look too tight. I can see there's a gap between it. Yeah, so this is... I dropped the tractor down a gear, so I know I'm not going too fast. With all that said, I'm gonna leave that spot alone for right now. If I don't get back to this today, I'm not gonna worry about it. I would much rather get this spot out here in the bottom part of this field baled rather than this. I just jumped into that thinking that was gonna take no time, but since it keeps clogging, it's giving me trouble. I'm just gonna leave that alone for right now, and I'm gonna go up here to the other spot and get that done. That other spot up here has a lot more, you can get a lot more hay off that other spot up here. So let's go up here and start knocking this down. Hopefully it doesn't clog on me. Hopefully we don't have any problems, but I might have to call this it for the hay cut for today. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I haven't had this problem this bad before. I can't even go more than 3 minutes at a time without it clogging up on me. I'm not even, like crazy tall stuff. I'm assuming it's because the moisture content in the grass is pretty high, and it's probably just clumping because it's wet. This back part of this field tends to stay pretty wet. I'm just gonna assume it's because of that. I probably just come through and bush hog the middle of this when it's time to, after I get everything built up. Gotta do a little bush hog work anyway, so probably just bush hog this down. And then maybe our second cutting in August. Hopefully this will kind of dry out enough down here where I can bring this back. But I think it's because the ground's too wet. Like, it doesn't feel wet standing on it, but the grass itself, it just feels like it's just very heavy in moisture. So it's kind of frustrating, but then again, I'm not losing a whole lot of hay down here by just skipping this. I got the bulk of it done, and I still got to go over and do our neighbor's property, so that'll be a lot of hay over there as well. So I'm gonna let this spot go. It's almost dark anyways, and I got the majority of it done. So no, I said I was gonna wrap it up. I went ahead and tried cutting another pass or two, and it's not even cutting. I don't know what's wrong with it. It is just clogging every time I do anything with it. And I know it's not the blades. I just replaced the blades last year on it, at the end of last year actually. So I know the blades are good. I don't know, I'm frustrated with it. I'm quite frustrated with it. It's not really going the way I wanted to, but Make sure to like and subscribe. Helps me out on my end. We'll catch you on the next one.